The room was filled with laughter, soft music, and the warmth of family and friends gathered to celebrate a new life. My daughter, glowing despite everything she had endured, sat at the center, unwrapping gifts for her baby girl. It was supposed to be a joyful day, a long-awaited moment of healing after the heartbreak she had suffered. But then Rachel opened her mouth. I never thought I'd have to throw someone out of my house, let alone a family member. But in that moment, I had no choice. My daughter, now 25, has been through more than most people could ever imagine. 2 years ago, she was expecting her first child, a beautiful baby boy named Philip. She had everything prepared, the nursery, the tiny clothes, the dreams of late-night cuddles and first words. But at 38 weeks, tragedy struck. Philip was stillborn. Losing him shattered her. When she came home from the hospital with empty arms, she couldn't bear to look at the nursery she had lovingly prepared. Through her tears, she begged us to take it all down before she returned, to make sure there were no painful reminders waiting for her. She kept only a few sacred things, a lock of his hair, the outfit he was supposed to wear home, the ultrasound pictures, but everything else was gone. It wasn't an easy decision. It was the only way she could survive. Most people understood that. Most people respected it. But not Rachel. My husband's sister, Rachel, had always been outspoken, loud, brash, and completely incapable of filtering her thoughts. But the way she fixated on my daughter's grief was something else entirely. When we took apart the nursery, she wouldn't stop talking about it. She called my daughter hysterical, ridiculed the decision to remove Philip's things, and made it clear she thought the whole thing was ridiculous. At first, I tried to be patient. I reminded myself that people grieve in different ways and that maybe, in some twisted way, she thought she was helping. But when she kept bringing it up, at family gatherings, in casual conversations, even in front of my daughter, I had to put my foot down. We told her, in no uncertain terms, that she needed to stop. She wasn't welcome around my daughter until she could keep her opinions to herself. Eventually, she backed off. Or so we thought. Fast forward 2 years. My daughter is pregnant again, this time with a baby girl. The fear of losing another child still lingers, but she's stronger now. She's ready to celebrate this new life. So we planned a baby shower. A fresh start. A day filled with love. Rachel was invited, along with the rest of my husband's family. I had hoped, prayed, that she would behave. That she had finally learned to keep her cruel comments to herself. I was wrong. At first, it was just little remarks here and there, quiet whispers to the relatives around her. Isn't it tacky to have a baby shower for a second child? Guess they just love asking for gifts. Annoying? Yes. Worth making a scene over? Not yet. But then my daughter started opening presents, and Rachel took things to another level. Her voice cut through the room like a knife. If you hadn't torn Philip's nursery apart and gotten rid of everything, you wouldn't be here begging for presents for this baby. The room went dead silent. I saw the color drain from my daughter's face. Her hands trembled as she clutched the wrapping paper in her lap. Her eyes glazed over, staring at nothing, frozen in place. And then, silent tears began to fall. That was it. I stood up so fast my chair nearly toppled over. Rachel, leave. My voice was calm, but firm. She scoffed. Oh, come on, I didn't let her finish. I marched to the gift pile, found the present she had brought, and threw it toward the door. Get out. Now! Rachel's mouth fell open. She started arguing, spewing some nonsense about freedom of speech and how I was overreacting. But before she could get another word in, my husband walked in. He didn't ask questions. He didn't hesitate. He picked his sister up, physically lifted her off the ground, and carried her out of the house. The door slammed shut behind her. The rest of the baby shower was quiet after that. My daughter sat there, still in shock, still wiping away silent tears. I hugged her, whispered that she was safe, that Rachel would never hurt her again. Later, my husband's family exploded into chaos. Some were furious with Rachel, disgusted by what she had said. Others thought I had overreacted. "You didn't have to throw her gift," one relative muttered. "You should have just ignored her." No. Absolutely not. This wasn't just a snide remark. This wasn't an awkward joke. Rachel had ripped open a fresh wound, knowing exactly what she was doing. We decided to hold a family meeting without Rachel. The relatives who hadn't been at the shower needed to hear the full story. And when they did, the decision was unanimous. Rachel was out. She wouldn't be invited to any more family gatherings. No holidays, no birthdays, no baby milestones. If anyone in the family wanted to keep a relationship with her, fine. But if they tried to pressure us to forgive and forget, they were out too. My mother-in-law struggled with it at first. She was heartbroken, saying she had always imagined her two children celebrating holidays together under the same roof. But in the end, she understood. Rachel had gone too far. My daughter doesn't need toxic people in her life. She doesn't need reminders of her pain thrown in her face. She needs love. She needs support. She needs to look forward to the future, not be dragged back into the darkness of the past. And I will do whatever it takes to protect her. So, was I wrong for kicking Rachel out? For yelling at her? For throwing her gift out the door? No. Because there's one thing Rachel never understood, one thing she never cared to grasp. Grief is not something you get to have an opinion on. It's not yours to judge. And if you can't show kindness, then you don't deserve a seat at the table.